Today, we're answering a very important question. Why do we put a roof rack on our van? Why is it American and not European? Why do we even need one at all? In this video, we'll give you a walkthrough as to why we chose this rack and why a roof rack is essential for van life and the challenges we face during this installation. Proving very hard. So we've hit a roadblock in the installation. First off, let's talk about why we went for an American roof rack and not a European roof rack, especially since we're in Europe. Our van is a Peugeot Boxer. This is also known in the van world as the Ferrari of vans. I researched for weeks on end to find a roof rack that actually looked good and was functional. Here in Europe, I found roof rack options are surprisingly limited, especially the heavy duty sort of overland style roof rack that you often see on American vans that looks absolutely sick. I could not find that in Europe anywhere. Most of the European roof racks I found were either for a commercial van doing some sort of construction work, or they were just too small and didn't really look the part. And that's when I thought, maybe I should try get a roof rack from another country. And that's when I saw Unaka's Instagram and I thought, wow, this actually looks kind of sick. The Unaka roof rack really stood out to me because it's modular and looks amazing and it's very functional. It's designed with overland travel in mind, not necessarily a tradesman looking to cart wood across the city. It's perfect for carrying everything from solar panels to recovery gear and even excessive gear if we need it, which is super helpful in winter. It's also way more versatile than what we could find in Europe, and as a bonus, it looks amazing. So why do we need any roof rack in the first place? Well, the answer to that question is actually pretty easy. When we first built the van, we had Renogy solar panels that were flexible. It went through a very bad storm, which was actually only rain, and the solar panels got damaged and they stopped working. We contacted Renogy and they told us basically these panels are working as they should. And we went back and forth. I gave them voltage readings, current readings, everything they wanted, and they just said, no, they're working as they should, which was very frustrating. And that's when we decided, well, we need new solar panels. So I went through and thought, maybe we can just Sikaflex through new panels and put them on the roof. And then I started looking at overlanding gear and thought, well, a roof rack is actually a better option because then we can put other gear on top of the van if we need to. But as a bonus, we just discovered how much more we can actually do with the roof rack. But as the roof rack is made in America and we have a European van, there are obviously going to be some differences. So let's talk about installation. First issue we had to solve was, will this roof rack actually fit? As it's made for a Dodge Pro Ram, not a Peugeot Boxer or a Fiat Ducato. We wanted to know, will this fit on our van? But sometimes you just got to risk it to get the biscuit. The second challenge we had was the metric versus imperial challenge. Obviously in America, they use the imperial system. Over in Europe and Australia and other places, most places across the world, we use the metric system. It meant a lot of trips to the hardware store to find imperial Allen keys, but eventually we got there and there was no problem. And the last challenge was, will it be legal with the European authorities, in particular the German bureaucracy? And if you've ever dealt with German bureaucracy, you know how frustrating it can be. As our van is registered in Germany, it has to comply with the German rules and regulations. This was originally our biggest fear, as trying to work with German bureaucracy can at times leave you chasing your tail. But this time, surprisingly, it was actually quite easily. We contacted a approval center, which we went to before, called TÜV Süd. They informed us that if the roof rack doesn't bolt through the roof, it's actually classed as cargo and it's the driver's responsibility to ensure it's safely secured. However, if there is a crash and it's found that the roof rack somehow caused the accident, your insurance will not cover you. So basically we found that if it doesn't get bolted through the van, it doesn't require any special permits or checking. But because it's fastened onto the van through a special mount and can be removed very easily, this means that it's actually classed as cargo, which was great news for us. So after a lot of trial and error and some cold and windy days putting the roof rack on, we found that it went on with ease. The only thing we had to do was cut down one or two long panels that go crossway. We had to cut them down by maybe 5 millimeters in order to make them fit. Overall, very happy. We got 390 watts of solar on the roof. If we wanted to put more, we have plenty more space to put another solar panel on if we need, or 2-3 smaller ones. In the future, we're probably going to put a bag or something on the roof and strap it down because we have plenty of room for excessive storage or a box or even a small platform where we could potentially just sit up there on a nice summer's day watching the sunset or something like that. So can you fit an American roof rack on a European van? The answer is yes, we did it. So if you're thinking about doing the same thing we did and purchasing an American roof rack, please drop a comment below and let us know, because this really revolutionized our van life. It looks amazing, stored solar, and we're really happy with it. Thanks for watching, and maybe we'll see you on the road.